Welcome back to Talking Fitchburg. All right, I had a chance to sit down with Rick from the Public Works Department, and he was able to talk to us a little about leaves and what you should do with your leaves this fall, which is super important because you really don't want them to get into the lakes and streams and down the gutters or in the streets and whatnot. So, so excited to have Rick here, and let's take a look at this interview. All right, joining us today is Rick Eilertson from the Public Works Department. He's here to talk to us about leaves, everything that has to do with leaves. Leaves.
Yeah, so we're here in October now, and leaves are starting to fall, turn color, and fall on the street, fall on people's yards, and people are starting to clean them up. So the big thing that I want to talk about is following up on the September Fitchburg Star article that we had, just showing about the different allowable options for a curbside collection. So the curbside collection actually starts October 26th, so it's in about 2 weeks, and it'll be that Monday. Everything needs to be set out, and the different options that are available are right here, and I'll put it up a little bit. So we have people can use single-use plastic bags. We have that shown as the least sustainable item. The next sustainable item, most sustainable, is compostable bags, either the compostable plastic bags that are a 3D and 3C, or 3B and 3C. It's hard to read backwards. And then 3A is the paper bags that people can buy. And these are available in local supermarkets, big box stores, and hardware stores. The next most sustainable items is the reusable containers and bags. And that's 2A is a reusable container. 2B and 2C are reusable bags, and they can be reused multiple times. Bags and containers are also available at various hardware stores as well as other marketplaces. And then what we feel is the most sustainable is no yard waste at the curb. Basically, people taking any leaves that they have, incorporating it right onto their own properties, and mulch rings around trees, in any wooded areas that they may have, in compost piles that they keep on the property. Or they can haul off when the leaves fall and bring that down to our recycling drop-off site at 2373 South Fish Hatchery Road. And so we have a large yard waste bunker there that people can bring leaves to. And there's a great article in the September Fitchburg Update, actually with Mark Hodel here, our street supervisor, describing the composting process. So we actually take those leaves and then bringing that into our compost facility, bring in a grinder generally about quarterly, so 3 to 4 times per year. We actually grind those leaves up and then windrow them back out into the compost facility, into compost piles, and then aerate those piles to have them degrade into usable compost. And so then we make that compost available at the recycling drop-off site for residents to pick up. And there's actually been a pretty good demand for that now that we started that April of 2014, making that compost available, and that's been a pretty hot item.
Is that compost free for pickup?
It is free for Fitchburg residents, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and we also make wood chips available free to Fitchburg residents. So that's also we've been making the wood chips available for a long time, and it's just recently that we've also made the compost available, and now there's getting a pretty good demand for both items.
That's cool.
And then actually another thing on follow-up on leaves is kicking off the Love Your Lakes, Don't Leave Them campaign, which Fitchburg participates along with City of Madison and 20 other municipalities around City of Madison in the My Fair Lakes campaign. So in the Fitchburg Star October edition, there's actually an insert that showed off the Love Your Lakes, Don't Leave Them sign, and then on the back side, there's has different items on leaf management, different best practices, either composting right on your own property. This is just showing the compost that people are digging up. Mulching the leaves right into the yard, into the lawn with the mulching lawnmower. There's typically a special mulching blade that you can get either automatically when you purchase the lawnmower, or you can have that attached afterwards. And again, putting mulch in your vegetable gardens, flower gardens also, mulch is great for. And then sometimes we encourage people to rake leaves out of the street if they can do that safely, because any leaves that are in the street, that we aren't able to pick up with our street sweeper, and our street sweeper is probably the busiest piece of equipment that we have running all throughout the city of Fitchburg, especially in the urban area where we have curb and gutter. Any leaves that run down the storm drain actually leach out phosphorus and other nutrients into the storm system, and that can create problems. For example, the blue-green algae, or the algae blooms that are problematic in the spring through fall. And so any leaves that we can keep out of the storm system and keep from leaching into downstream systems really is beneficial.
I have to say, I did put all of my leaves last year in the garden, and then I rototilled them and that dirt coming out the next spring this year was so moist, and it was incredible, and everything grew just really well. I was very impressed, and I took that tip from last year from you guys, and
it's awesome.
So I can be a spokesperson for you and say that actually does work out really well. And then I didn't have to take my leaves anywhere. I didn't have to do anything extra. I just dumped them in there for the whole season. And
that's awesome.
So it definitely works. And mulching too is and you need that for your lawn. That's a good thing to put back in your lawn. I think a lot of people forget that, right?
Yeah. So. You get a gold star for today, Jeremy.
Yeah, right.
So one of the other things that we've done with the compost facility, we had a kind of a junk topsoil area. And then just last year, Mark was able to blend the compost with our topsoil, and then we ran it through a screener, and then actually are making that available for our Parks division to utilize that along the bike paths when we do as basically a turf or a topsoil amendment. And it's the nice thing about the compost in there, it adds a lot of organic value that might not be in the topsoil that you may have otherwise, and it holds the moisture and also has good nutrient value.
Rick, where can they get more information?
So probably our best place is our webpage. So we do have the webpage is www.fitchburgwi.gov, and then /solid waste, all one, no spaces in there. So that's a short link right to the yard waste information that we have available. And we also have several brochures and for example, Bedfridge coasters with Love Your Lakes, Don't Leave Them information on them. There's actually 3 different ones that we have available here at City Hall that people can pick up with different leafisms. What you do with your leaves affects your lakes. And then we also have yard waste signs, or signs that people can put on their yard that are promoting the benefits of good leaf management. So those, again, are available at the City Hall lobby at 5520 Lacey Road.
Perfect. And the leaf collection starts October 26th?
October 26th. So it's both brush and yard waste collection. And again, people do, if they want them collected curbside, they need to follow one of these 4 options, either the single-use plastic bags, and they need to make sure they leave the bags untied. You can use the compostable option, the reusable option, and then they just need to make sure that it's clear to the pelletary driver where to put those bags. And we're encouraging people to have another container out there with a sign on it, say, please put the bags in here. Or, obviously the best option we're really trying to get across is this number 1, people reusing the leaves right on their own property, like you, Jeremy.
A gold star guy. All right, Rick, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next month.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jeremy.
Coming in and helping us with that, and we'll be right back to wrap up the show. Stalking Fitchburg.